And we're back with another episode of Living in Granbury and Beyond. Today, we're going to do two things. One, we're going to remind everyone who we are, what we do here in Granbury. And two, we're going to do a market update to give you an update on this ever-changing real estate market. We're going to jump into that right now. We really appreciate you tuning in to today's episode, and we have a quick story to tell. So I had someone reach out to me via email that's been watching my YouTube channel, and they asked me, funny enough, if I knew any good realtors that lived here in Granbury. So after swerving off the road into a ditch, I paused and sent him a message and let him know that I own a real estate brokerage here in Granbury and I am a realtor. And so this channel has been really focused on serving the community, serving people that are looking to relocate here, and focusing on not selling, but helping inform folks, give them educational material that'll help them determine if Granbury is the right fit for them. So in that process, we have a slogan, here to serve, not just sell. And the focus has been, let's just help people. Let's give them information. Let's not make them feel like, that we're out here trying to sell people and sell ourselves even, but just focus on serving and helping people, and then let the chips fall where they may. And we believe that if we help enough people, give enough information for free, that people will start working with us, choose to work with us as realtors. That's proven true. Our business is thriving. We're one of the faster growing brokerages here, not in terms of agents, but just in terms of production and volume. And so it has proven true, but we've also have a question of some people may be watching the channel and maybe they don't even know that I'm a real estate broker. I'm a realtor here in Granbury, and this is how I make a living. So for those that don't know, I wanted to kind of share a little bit of information about our company. It's something that I'm not super comfortable with. I like to focus on just helping folks and helping people, but sometimes I think it is necessary to do a little shameless plug about why working with us might be the best bet. So it's hard for me to go out and say, hey, we're the best realtor in Granbury. And, I'm not going to say that. I think we are among the best realtors in Granbury. And for some, we are the best realtor in Granbury. When you look at personalities, we're not the best fit for some folks. We're just not. For some people, I think we're absolutely the best fit. If you're looking to buy a lake home here in Granbury, if you're looking for a place to retire and relocate, maybe you're looking to move here for your family and leaving a specific state to come here, we have a lot of experience with that, and I think we would be a great fit for most people. So what I wanted to do is go over 3 reasons why we think you should consider working with us if you're looking to buy or sell in Granbury, Texas. Maybe you're relocating from another state, maybe you're looking for a lake home, maybe you're looking for just a weekend home to have to come and spend some time on the lake with the family. Regardless of that, we think that we're one of the better choices that you can make. Hard for me to say best. It's very uncomfortable for me to kind of toot my own horn, so to speak. But I want to give you a few reasons why we hope that you will consider us as an option. So first thing is, we know Granbury. We do all these videos. We drive all the streets. If you do that for several years like we have, you just get to know the area. And so we really know Granbury. We know the market and are familiar with it, can definitely help you with the transition. The second thing is, kind of piggybacking on that, we do have the #1 YouTube channel that's focused specifically here in Granbury. So we're living in Granbury. That's our focus, and we, there are some perimeter areas going up into Weatherford, Brock, Toller that we will pull in as well naturally because some of the Granbury folks are moving in those directions. But with that, there comes a couple of opportunities. People see the YouTube channel that live here, and they want to tap into some of the people that are coming in. So we have, for example, a heirloom property on 40 acres that's going to be between $2.5 to $3 million, and it's going to be coming up for sale probably in the next 12 to 18 months. We have it. So if anyone reaches out to us, we have this property that we can kind of give some information on and potentially line something up where it never even hits the market. We've got another one that's 5 acres on a pond, does need a little updating. It's going to be around $500,000. So a house on 5 acres in Granbury is kind of hard to come by, especially at that price. It does need some updating, like I said, but it's something that if someone reaches out to us and it's a right fit, we can actually pitch the home before it ever hits the market. And piggybacking up on this, I'm going to share my screen with you real quick and show you something. This is a site where we focus on the local community here in Granbury. The site is HGG Realty, and we put out 2 videos per month. But one of the things we're doing today actually is we're actually sending out a VIP buyer newsletter, and that will allow people to kind of give us specifically some of the things you want, get you plugged into our system, and whenever we get a listing, maybe it's 3 to 6 months out and it fits the criteria that you have, we can potentially send you some listings that are off market before they come up. So especially when you get to a seasonal thing, we're getting into the spring season, so most of the stuff that we've had building is coming online as we speak. But when you look at October, November, we start collecting all of these listings that are going to be hitting the market in the following year, and a lot of our folks have access to them early. So VIP buyer list, if you'd be interested in that, you just go to hggrealty.com, click that subscribe now. It'll take you to this screen, and you will you'll get an email from us. You'll start getting the video emails twice a month, plus with a special offer, something once a month. So 3 total emails per month. So we're not going to spam you to death or anything like that. So that's another reason why it might be worth working with us. Number 3, so some people wonder, this Josh guy, he does real estate, he owns a real estate brokerage, but does he really have experience? Well, I've been doing it for about 14 years, and right now we're top 5-ish in Granbury in terms of my personal production. So we sell a lot of real estate. We know what we're doing. We're experienced experts here in the area. We know the area, and we have a good history of delivering really good service. If you go and search my real estate brokerage, Home Grown Group Realty, you'll see that we have one of the highest rated brokerages here in the area. So we are obviously delivering pretty good service. So with that, I think that's enough of the shameless plug. I think if you are thinking about relocating here, buying or selling, looking for a lake home or retiring, we feel that we would be one of the best choices as a realtor that you could work with. So give us a shot. Take a look at us. We'd love the chance to visit with you or chat and see if we might be a good fit. Now we're going to transition to a real estate market update. So we do one of these every month to 2 months, depending on how things are going. Things have been changing very fast, and a lot has been up in the air, and it kind of still is. We're going to jump into a specific article here in just a second that Zillow put out. I'm going to share my screen with you. We're going to look at this article that Zillow put out. So I just want to kind of give everyone this back up and catch up where things have been. So in 2022, listing inventory was around 242,000 homes in the entire nation, 242,000. And today we're sitting at about 1.36 million homes for sale. That's actually a really healthy number. In the 2008 financial crisis, when the housing market went down bad, we went over 2 million in inventory. 1.2 to 1.5 million homes on the market is actually a healthy number. 2022, 242,000 was savagely unhealthy. It was terrible. It was not a good market. We had 242,000 homes on the market on average, and we were selling over 6 million homes per year nationwide. It was a terrible situation, caused prices to shoot up, and it created all sorts of problems, inflation and such. We all know the stories of people putting the home up on a Friday, having 15 offers by Sunday. That was pretty common, honestly. We had that happen multiple times ourselves, and it was not a good thing at all. Obviously, it was enjoyable for the folks who were selling, but when those people went to buy a home, it was not fun for them, and it just wasn't a good market at all. So what are we expecting with 1.36 million homes currently listed on the market in the nation? That's a pretty healthy number. Buyer activity has been down, so buyer demand has been down, but wage growth has been growing. And wage growth has actually been outpacing home values, which means that a part of that 2022 nonsense has been slowly correcting, with wage growth outpacing home value growth. And as that happens, things begin to rebalance. So we're seeing the market slowly in a state of correction. We have seen home values remain relatively stable and even continue to grow very slowly. just not as fast as wage growth. And that is a good sign that affordability is slowly improving. With all of that said, the real estate market is not a national market, so to speak. It's a local market, and local is king. So if you want to know what's going on, you really need to focus on the local aspect. So if we look at Texas, and then we can zoom in and say DFW, and then you zoom in and you say Granbury, then it's a slightly different situation than what you're going to find, as the average national story. So in Granbury, I think you really need to pick up on the DFW story first. So the DFW story is that it was the fastest growing metroplex in the nation. It's scheduled to become the largest metroplex in the nation within the next 10 years or so. With that as the backdrop, builders were building according to this expectation of growth, and some of that has began to slow down with the market turning, with interest rates going higher, with layoffs happening. That slowed down some of the growth, and the builders were building based on certain expectation. So now they've had to scale back what they're doing, but it's caused an inventory glut. And that inventory glut is not only affecting DFW, it also affects Granbury. So Granbury's growth is going to be at a fraction of the DFW growth. So it's going to happen there. So when it slows there, it can have an exponential impact on the Granbury market because it is feeding from some of the growth of the DFW market. So what we've seen is inventory grew beyond what we would want to see for Granbury, and buyer demand has been slowing. So what that's caused is there's a lot of homes on the market, and it's taking a lot longer for these homes to sell, and the prices have kind of stalled. We haven't seen prices like drop or anything like that, but we have seen things really stall. So we're not seeing homes sell quickly. Usually it's taking some time, and it is a market that is challenging for a seller. So it's a good opportunity for a buyer to go in and work a decent deal. It is a market that favors buyers at the moment, and it is so because of this inventory issue. So looking at this specific article on Zillow, Zillow's latest forecast expects home values to rise slightly by 0.3% as of December 2026. So we still see home values going up. They are projecting 3.73 million sales for 2026, which is pretty much in line with what we've had for the last 3 years, around 4 million. Remember, 2022, we had over 6 million. So less home sales, more inventory, wage growth outpacing home values. The market has been in a slowly, gradually correcting phase. If you go back to the video or some of the things that I put out early in the year, interest rates were at 3-year lows and demand was ramping up. We had homes that were starting to go under contract. We were getting offers, things were moving, and then the conflict in Iran starts. And the conflict there caused interest rates to jump back up to 10-month highs, and it has slowed down the real estate market tremendously. This was a very unfortunate turn of events for us because we had anticipated 2026 spring-summer to be the best spring and summer since the hot market of 21-22. So now this conflict in Iran has slowed things down a bit, sent rates back higher, and kind of rained on our parade a little bit and what we were expecting for the year. Now with that said, rates are down to 6.29, which means they were at 5.9 before the Iran conflict. They jumped up to like 6.6, 6.7. Now they're back down to 6.29. Anytime there's any talk of peace or conflict resolution or getting through this thing, mortgage rates drop, 10-year treasury drops, stock markets soar, and we see activity begin to pick up. Like it's uncanny at the way the markets respond to some of the news that's coming out on this Iran stuff. Now, the thing is this Iran conflict, it can turn very nasty and become something that we do not see a resolution to for many months or years. And I don't know what to expect if that happens. But there's also a possibility, and crazy enough, that we could be completely resolved and through this thing in a week and a half, and rates are back down to sub 6%, maybe 5.9, and we're back on with an expectation of a hot summer. So that is also on the cards. So we really don't know how this thing's going to play out. Because we're at this moment where no one really knows. Everything's kind of volatile. News is sending markets up and down every couple of days, it seems like. And it feels like every time I go into the weekend, I'm going into the weekend thinking they've got a peace deal worked out, just to hear that they're bombing and stuff again on a Saturday. So that's pretty wonky, and it's hard for us to anticipate what's going to happen. With that said, this week, as I'm doing this video, pending home sales are up, listing inventory is up, buyer activity is up, prices are slightly rising year over year. And so we've seen a lot of homes actually going under contract. We've seen some activity picking up. So we see some glimmers of hope with the lower rates at 6.29. They've been trending down here recently. We are seeing some good signs in the real estate market. So that's your market update. Prices are probably going to remain pretty flat for the year. If we see some resolution in Iran, that could cause rates to go a little lower. We might see some shifting in these expectations, like the Zillow report, and we're going to keep an eye on all of that. But we hope this information was helpful. If you have any questions, we'd love to hear from you. Call, text, email anytime. We'd love to chat or give you any advice that we can. If we don't hear from you, hopefully we'll see you around Granbury sometime.